Hello, everybody. This is Fanny. I hope you're doing good. I'm really cold. It's really cold where I am right now. Actually, it's funny because I'm working on my Timberlings right now, and see, I'm really cold right now, and I was thinking about that. I wrote this first page, one of the first pages of my Timberlings, and I wanted to use that wand kind of like a Men in Black thing, when they have that one thing and they flash everybody and they forget everything that they saw, and then they can hypnotize them and recode their matrix. So my team building, it talks a lot about mental programming, how to patterns and stuff, explaining patterns by symbols and art and stuff like that. But so here is my question, or reflection, because we always wonder, we always wish that we would remember our past lives, and we're constantly trying. And when you do quantum hypnosis regression, sometimes you get to see one life or two lives, and when I did my session, I saw this one life, and I didn't feel concerned with it at all, at all. And then a year later, images started popping back, and I was like, oh, now I understand why I had to see this life at that moment, because at that, what I'm living right now, I have um elements to help me understand it and see it from another standpoint, and kind of like, um how do you say, I don't know, because between French and speaking French and Spanish and English, I can't speak anymore. Hang on to your situation, because you're actually rebalancing a karmic situation or something that you've lived before or something like that. So it's nice to remember. And so when I started, I wrote, breaking the ice just for today, forget everything you were taught and open your mind to your truth, in a way that leave your grudges, leave your traumas, leave your conditionings, your beliefs behind, and kind of start over, blank page. And this is kind of what happens with the reincarnation process. We don't remember all of our past lives, because imagine the mess if you remember all of your past lives and you were, I don't know, in a family, in a family in the past life, and you remember all of your families, from all of your past lives, and then you reconnect all together, and you're like, okay, how do we recondition all of this? How can everybody find their place? Or on another hand, on another way, if someone um hurt you, or let's imagine someone killed you, in a past life, and you met them in this life, and you're supposed to rebalance, or to forgive the thing, but you remember that, um you always have this feeling. Sometimes you meet some people and you're like, oh, I have this weird feeling about this person, and you don't know why, but because you have memory imprints from your past lives, whether you remember it or not. So so this is why we forget. This is why it's kind of a gift also to forget, because we're given the gift to start over with a blank page and rewrite our story the way we choose it. But at the same time, I was like, it's kind of negative. After all this work that I've done, and all these years of learning and stuff, and even if we do remember our past lives, and how we get to the point that we're able to take a step back, and when you realize that life is a theater, that we're all playing characters, then you look at everything a little bit differently. And it's easier to say once you're on the other side of the drama and the depression, because I know for me there was this big gap between what I felt like I was and meant to be, and mission and purpose, and what I was actually manifesting in my life. And so this big gap was, you can fall in it. So um so it's like you have to reuse everything that you learned, and to look at life like a theater. And then take all the element, take what serves you, and remember it to recreate and keep the best of it. So I was just like, okay, what do I write? Just for today, forget everything you were taught, or remember everything you were taught. So I'm going to replace, I'm going to remember everything you were taught, because the remembering means that you're able to understand everything else and forgive and have compassion and understand and still want the best, for the people that you've met. And even when you have an argument with someone and you're able to go over it and still be friends, for example. So just in these two words, that made me think of all of that, of what is going on. And then, of course, after you remember, you recreate, right? You imagine what comes next. So you step into your creative power. And so really, this is really the step. You are born, you forget, and then you remember. And then what do you do with this information? How do you create? So this is the point of my team buildings. Um, Everything that was learned, all the people, the relationship that obviously most of the people and friends and stuff that I mentioned in the book is people that there is a strong connection, and obviously, or um, most likely, we knew each other from before, like a big family. And now how do we build from all that the new world?